and welcome to my channel, Crafting with Shuttermonkey. I'm Amanda and I'm also known as Shuttermonkey, and today I thought we'd do something a little bit different from the usual video episodes that I put onto YouTube. I thought today I would take you along while I clean out my crochet cupboard. I've quite a lot of WIPs in here, and I thought I would get them all out onto my table and try and go through them all and see what I've got and get them all organised and actually find out how many crochet WIPs that I actually have. So let's get started. Right, that's me got all my crochet WIPs looked out, and I'm going to start showing you them one by one. So the first WIP that I've got to show you is my peony flower. This is a pattern from Toft, and it makes this little flower. This was a club make last year. I wasn't a member of the club, but I did manage to buy all the clubs online at the end of the year. So that's how far I've got. I've got the body done and the head, and I did that in cream, and then there's a beautiful Toft hand dye in here to make the peony flowers. I'm just trying to see. Oh, I've got one wee arm started. So I really need to get on with that. Excuse me. Let me put that in there. And we'll get this one out of the way. It's got one of the wee Toft centralizer markers on it. It's a wee bee. It's from their pollinator collection, but it's quite cute. Right, so there we go. WIP number 1. Let me just put this one out of the way. What to show you next? Right. So this tub here is the Nefertiti doll. Let me just see if I've got a picture. See, well, you can see this one here. So this was another limited edition kit from Toft that I didn't buy from Toft. I ended up finding online on a selling group because I was too late to buy it. And here we go. There's how far I've got with her body. And there's her collar. It's got a nice wee bejeweled collar. You have to do the collar first so that when you work her head, you can actually put this over the body and then you crochet the head. So the collar's already in place once you complete the body and you move into the neck and the head. So that's why the collar's already done. Another thing I really need to get on with. But as I say, that's her there. She is beautiful. I'm not using the same colour. I used a slightly different shade because I wanted to match up to some of my postcards, my many postcards that I have a Nefertiti. Okay. Come on. Right, WIP number 3. This will eventually be the Nutcracker doll by Toft. I think he looks a wee bit like Billy Connolly just now. Don't know, that's just who he reminds me of just now. But I do have his body done. And I have 2 legs. So, there we go. Put him over here. There we go, we do have his legs. And I have 1 arm. And I've started the other arm. And that's where I've given up. So that's how he's looking just now. And I was actually going to do his jacket. Do I have a picture of him? No, I don't. Not with me just now. I was actually going to do his jacket in turquoise. And his trousers are to be the white shade. His boots will be brown. And his jacket would be in the turquoise. just because I went to see the Nutcracker ballet a few years ago, and the Nutcracker, the male dancer doing the Nutcracker, was actually wearing a turquoise jacket, so my Nutcracker will be turquoise. So there we go. He is WIP number 3. Say bye, Billy. I'm going to end up calling him Billy now, aren't I? Bye. Right, here we go. Number 3. Another doll from Toft, and she is almost finished. Look how close I am to finishing her. Isn't that ridiculous that she's still lying? So I've got the bodies all done. Her hair's all done as well, and I gave her red hair because I wanted her to look like Winifred from Oh Hocus Pocus. So I think I've just got to add a wee bit of length onto her dress. That's why there's a wee stitch marker there and that's still attached. I must have been trying her dress on for length. Going to go a wee bit longer than that. And the buttons are all on the back of her dress as well, so once that fits it can all be buttoned up. And her hat's here as well. I've started her hat. Sorry, Winifred. There's her hat. And I think I'm going to do the sleeves a wee bit longer on her dress as well. And that is her. She will be done. She really doesn't have a lot to do. So, WIP number 4. Right, what's in this one here? I'm all very organised with my little baskets in my cupboard, aren't I? But just need to get things finished. This one's not WIP, he's finished. He just sits in here with elves during the year when it's not Christmas. But he's a little Toft the mini reindeer, Donna the reindeer. And I actually put a wee diamante on his nose to give him a wee sparkly nose. But he is finished, he just lives with the elves. So here is one elf. And if I hold that up, you can see how he's supposed to look. And he is very similar, isn't he? All I need to do is the ears and his little boots and stitch on his facial features and he's done. So why has this been lying for so long? Your guess is as good as mine. And there's also a little red elf. And this one just needs boots and ears as well. So there you go. WIP number 5. 2 little elves. Tucked up in here. All nice and cosy. With Rudolph. So let's pop these ones out of the way. I think this is more Toft. This one is, let me see if you can see this. It's supposed to be a gingerbread man. And I've got his head and his body done. And I've started a foot. Got a little stitch marker there from Chapel View Crafts. I've started one of his legs and then stopped. There really isn't much more of that to do. Now, these other bundles here, I know that these are supposed to be for the holly and the mistletoe. That's what these 4 balls are for. It's to do the holly and the mistletoe. And this one here is to do the pine cone. Now, technically, they're not WIPs because I've not started those yet. They're just yarn. So, any excuse. I'll pop that all together, get that out of the way. So what are we at now? What? That's WIP number 6. I am trying to show you all the Toft WIPs first, because I think that's the thing I've got the most of. Right, you've all been done. This one here. You've seen this before on my regular episodes. He has got, this is a Toft monster. And I have got, let me lie him down, okay, so you can maybe see him better. So there we go. There's the body. There's a leg. There's a leg. There's an arm. One more arm to do. And he's done. But he's been lying for quite a while. Now the reason I picked this design, the Toft book, you can design your own monsters. And this was all picked by my grandson Harley, and I still haven't finished it. And the idea was, the reason there's more yarn in here, this isn't Toft yarn, it is from Poundland, and it does crochet up really, really beautifully, doesn't it? But the idea was to finish this monster and then do another one for the other grandson in the other colourway. Maybe 2023 I'll get on with that, eh? Right, and that's why there's an extra set of eyes in here as well. It's monster number 2. So there we go, Toft monster, that is WIP number 7. Right, still on the Toft crochet projects. This one is Hope. Now this is Hope. She was the Advent project by Toft, and I got as far as day 5 and then stopped. But she is beautiful. I've seen the finished bird. The markers are on because Toft asked us to place some markers, so that's what these wee bits of wool are for. I had the original Toft markers on, but I'm quite a tight crocheter, and it was pulling my stitches out, so I took the actual markers out and I've just put some cotton yarn in. But I've stuffed it. We weren't supposed to stuff it at this point, but I did stuff mine, and I haven't sealed up the head yet in case Kerry told us to do something different. But that's as far as I got with that. And I'm going to keep some of these hooks out actually, because one of the reasons that I need to clean out all my WIPs is because all my notions and all my accessories and my hooks, and they're all in bags and I never know where anything is. So I'm going to take this, I'll tell you what, I'll do it later, and what I'll do is I'll put a wee post-it note in with each project so I know exactly which hook I used. So when I go back to the project I know what I'm looking for. But this is the Toft beads that came with that project. They're so pretty, aren't they? Really beautiful. Anyway, pop these away. So that is WIP number 8, and this is just a wee basket that I made myself. It was actually macrame cord, the bobbiny macrame cord with just wee bits of liberty around it. I kept seeing people making rope bowls, but I didn't have rope, so I thought I'll go try. I did have macrame cord and it worked quite well. Doesn't hold its shape as well as a rope bowl, but it's still sturdy enough. It's really nice, isn't it? Right, here we go. Put this out the way. Right, this one here. This is a little bag that I made myself. It's Cath Kidston fabric, Cath Kidston strawberry fabric, and just an upholstery fabric in the bottom because it's a wee bit heavier weight than quilting cotton. And it's just lined inside with some Laura Ashley leftovers from my quilt. And there you go, you can see already what this is supposed to be. Can you see that? An axolotl. I'm fascinated with these. They're just amazing. And there is how much I've got done of my axolotl. And she is using Toft yarn again. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Toft yarn again, pink and a cream, and everything's in the bag. I've even got some little stitch markers in here as well. You can see she's not got much more to do. 4 legs. I think I've got to do 4 legs and then do our fancy fins round her face. But not much to do in her. But I'll pop her back in her bag for now so I know that everything's together. And I think that is the last. Oh, no it's not. Sorry, I just remembered I have 3 more Toft WIPs. So I can set them up like you see. This one here is Jane the Pangolin. And do you know all that I need to do with Jane? is stitch on some eyes. And she's been sitting up there for some time, just needing some eyes. I was actually sitting in the corner of my room doing a Zoom meeting the other day, and I could see her out the corner on the screen at the corner as I was on the Zoom meeting, and I'm thinking, that's ridiculous. All she needs is her eyes. Done her body, done all her scales. Just eyes. But she's going on the list because she still needs to get finished. So that's 9, 10. And then these two here. This is Eldon, the Yule Goat. Now he was a Toft Crochet along a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, maybe 2020. And so was this one. This is Estella, the Clockwork Nightingale. And all that I need to do with both of these is day 23 and 24, and they are finished. Now I think 23 is making his little bell. He has a little bell on the front, and obviously putting in his eyes, because his eyes are just little pins right now that have sat in place to make him look like his eyes. Should probably do that for Jane. And then Estella has only got a few more details in between her feathers to go on, her tail feathers, and she's done. But she's another beautiful Toft make. There isn't much to do in her, and again, she just needs proper eyes because it's little pins that's in there. But there we go. That is 11 and 12, so I think I've got 12 Toft makes to get finished. Yikes. So I've got another couple of toys to show you, but these ones aren't Toft. Okay, now this one, it's a little ladybird, or she will eventually be a ladybird. I've started her little wings here, not much more to go on her. And she also comes with a little cocoon. Nope, that's not her cocoon. That's her cocoon in here. So you can pop her inside her little cocoon, and she's just a little larva. And then she goes inside her cocoon, and she comes out and she's changed into a butterfly. These are actually little beads that are stitched on here. Sorry, they're not beads, they're actually little tiny safety eyes, just in case you think she's put pins in there again. These ones are proper little safety eyes. But I do have the ladybird. I have the little cocoon. And what else do I have for this one? That's it. And I've just started the wings. So there's still to be a little hat. 2 little hats, because there's one for the larvae stage and there's one for the ladybird stage. I'll show you a little picture. So that's it here. So you've got your little larva. Oh, can you see that okay? No light shining on it. You've got your larva into the cocoon and then into the ladybird. So again, I don't have much of this to do to finish it. And it's from this book here. And the second one I have, the next project I have to show you is from this book too. Have I even started it? Yeah. I think that's as far as I've got. The head. Oh no, I've got 2 little cocoons here. So I was working on something. So this is obviously the wee larva head, and I've got a couple of cocoons. And this is all made using the Crochet yarn. It's all cotton. So we'll get those little bits there. Not body parts. I suppose the head is a body part. And again, this is from this book here. And this time it's the butterfly I was aiming for. That wee butterfly there. That's another wee picture of her down here. But there's lots of pretty butterflies. Let me see if there's a picture of the... There's one of the wee butterflies coming out the cocoon. Now what have I done the other cocoon for? That's the question. Let me just have a quick flick. See if I can see something. It looks like this one. This one here. I must have been working on another butterfly. Yeah. Or is that the butterfly cocoon? Let me just check. So many whips, I don't even know what I was doing. No, I must have been doing 2 butterflies because that's both butterfly cocoons. Maybe I was doing this one here. Anyway, both from that book. More WIPs for me to get done, and that is WIPs. That is WIP numbers 13 and 14. This one, this WIP here, is actually from the same designer, I think. I think it's the same designer that makes these ones. And this is going to be, one day, Maleficent. And she's in this little book here. It came as a little kit and you get all the yarn, but I didn't use the yarn that came with the kit because I've used, again, the Katona yarn. Let me see if I can find her in here so you can see her. I don't want to get into trouble by showing the pattern, so if I do that, there she is there. But there's quite a few baddies that I would like to do in here. There's also Ursula, and there's the Queen as well. The Queen, the evil Queen from Snow White. As well as, they're my favourite too. Sorry. These are my favourite too. I like the evil Queen and I like Maleficent. So I'll just pop this away. It really wouldn't take long to finish her. And she's sitting like everything else I have. So she's actually WIP number 15. Crochet WIP number 15. And this bag here, I brought that out. You probably saw me bringing that out the cupboard and putting it on the table. But it's not actually a WIP, it's just all yarn. It's just all my Katona yarn for when I'm working on all these wee projects. So, although I did bring it over, it's not a WIP. There's nothing to see in there. It's just yarn storage just now in here. Right, next up. I think we can move on to garments now. So, what's in here? Again, this is another bag that I made myself. It's Cath Kidston fabric. And just some fairies in the inside. Do you know, this is just, I haven't started this. It's just storing the project, getting ready to go. But I was going to do, it's a crochet top by Cherry Heart. And she released a pattern a couple of years ago for a nice crochet summer top. And I did buy this in here to make that top. So technically that's not a WIP. Although I maybe should put it on a list to remind me. Right, let's pop this one back out the way then. This one here. Now, you've seen this one before. Started this a couple of summers ago. I've got all the ends still to weave in. I don't know why I avoid putting in ends, because see, once I start doing it, it's not that bad. And it's still connected at the bottom. It's still attached here, because I just wanted to add a wee bit more length to the body, because I'm quite tall. So that's all I need to do with that. Weave in ends and add a wee bit of length. Maybe this summary. But this was all made using, I did put it all in the one spot. It's Sublime. And I've used quite a few different shades of the Sublime, and it's all stored here in this little bag here that was right down the bottom. So it's all been stored in here. I think I showed this in my very, very first episode. So all the colours are in here, and I've got all the ball bands that I've used. They're in here too. There we go. We'll just pop it back in here, and maybe 2023 will be the year that I get to wear this beautiful top. pop this away. So that's 2 garments, although technically I haven't started that first one I showed you. Just pop this out of the way. So I'm just going to take a wee note of those, the garments. This is the last garment, crochet garment, that I think I have. Now I think I've looked everywhere, and I do think I've got all my crochet projects. So this was going to be a cardigan, and I'm just crocheting up lots of little squares. No, I'm not. I'm crocheting up lots of little hexagons using various shades of grey and pink. I've only got one colour of pink, but Toft now have a magenta colour, so I could do some magenta coloured ones too. And they also have just released a peony colour, which is a very pale pink, because the idea was to just make some hexagons in all the shades of grey that they have, and then do it in the shades of pink, and then sew them all together and try and do a cardigan. So that's what I would like to do with that, and I would still like to make that. This project is in a little, it's just a little wicker basket. It's an old piece of living room furniture actually, and I've just painted it grey. It did used to be brown. Painted it grey, and I made a wee liner for it. This is actually Emma Bridgewater fabric in here. So that's where that's staying. And I don't know why, but I've just found some random fabric scraps in the bottom of that, so I'm going to leave those out. Leftovers from a project. Oh, I love that quilt. Oh, I loved it. Right, let me put those out the way, and we'll pop these hexagons back in here. Get them out the way. So that is the third garment that I have to show you. Right, that was number 18. Now, I'm just having a wee quick look about. These are actually all finished. These are just little crochet scrubbies. Can I get them in the shot properly? Let you see them. These were made with tulle. And I don't know why I'm showing these. These are actually a whip. They're not actually a whip, sorry. They're not actually a whip. I've just finished these. I'd been crocheting them for a while. It's quite hard going in your hands. I used up even the leftovers to make a couple of little multicoloured scrubbies. And it was 6-inch tulle that I bought. And then I cut the 6-inch tulle in half to 3 inches and crocheted these wee scrubbies. And they're great. They're great for cleaning the bathroom. They're great for doing the dishes. You can pop them in the dishwasher when they need washed. Just pop them in with your dishes. And I've got so many of them because I bought lots of different colours of tulle. The only thing was the orange came through and it was slightly different, so I had to double it up. So I only got 2 out of that, and I gave 1 to my daughter-in-law. But I really need to get those maybe sorted out and give them to people to use. But they were quite a nice wee project, and especially when it's a nice pastel rainbow it makes. This is WIP number 19. Technically it's finished. The basket itself is finished, and it's just sat around the box to help keep its shape. But the reason I brought these ones over is a couple of years ago I released this as a pattern. It's just crochet baskets. They all fit inside one another, and there is 3 different sizes. And what I would like to do with this one here is I would like to have 3 sizes of this as well. So I've still to make the other 2 sizes. So I have to make another 2 that fit inside here. So technically it's still a WIP. And I do have the yarn. I have another 2 shades of blue. I've got a paler blue and a darker blue. The same as this. It would be a paler one inside and then a darker one right in the middle. But I have to do that with the blue as well. And this is just, again, a Cath Kidston box. But it was the perfect shape to sit that in for blocking. And it's just never come off of there. It's still sitting in here. But it's quite a nice pattern, that, isn't it? It's quite a nice design. A wee bit more complicated than the pink version. But it was supposed to be that maybe beginners could try this. Somebody that was just new to crochet, that didn't have a lot of confidence, and more experienced crocheters could do the blue one. Still not done it yet, but... So there we go. That's WIP number 19. Just going to write that down so I remember. Do you know, I'm actually doing okay here. I thought I had a lot more crochet whips than this. I must have actually finished some. Right, let me just pop this out of the way. The last two things I'm going to show you are actually blankets. Now, I've not brought any mother blankets to show you because I thought I would leave that and do a blanket whip parade almost. Kind of try and stick to the crochet projects today. I could do a knitting one as well, and maybe a sewing one, a patchwork one. But I thought, I'm not going to show my crochet blankets today, but I'm going to show you this one because this one's nearly finished, and I've kind of made plans to try and start doing this on a Sunday afternoon, just spend a couple of hours on it. So I'll just unfold it and show you what I've got. See if I can lean it up in those projects at the back. So this is the Lily Pond blanket, and this is by Jane Crowfoot. This was a free pattern that Jane had designed and released as a crochet along. And I have got, this is the centre here, and then I got the first round on, and then the second round on. And all I've got to do now is, I'll put that out of the way, attach all these bits here. They're all made. I've made all the pieces. This has been blocked, so all I need to do is weave in these wee ends at the back, join it together, because there's 3 pieces here, and that is part of the final round. I think it's round 3, and I've wrote what sizes they should be, and I have got 4 pieces like that. Slightly different pattern. The top and bottom will be the same, and I think the sides are like this pattern here. But again, some of them just need blocked. That's been blocked, that one has been blocked. This needs blocked, it's not been done yet. And the same with this. But I've crocheted all the pieces. All I need to do is block it, sew in ends, and put that final round on. And then that's the corners for the outside. These are all done as well. Now, I think I looked this out at the end of 2021, and I thought, right, if I just work in this for 5, I remember thinking 5 Sundays, because I've got 5 bundles here. I've got the corners, and then I've got the 4 sides. And if I just do one every Sunday, deal with one of these every Sunday, it would be finished for Christmas. And that was Christmas, before Christmas 2021, I thought that. And it's still lying here. So what I thought, after I finished teaching the last of my knitting classes, I think once my Sundays are free and I've got them all to myself again, I think I will do that. I'll look this out at the end of February. No, it won't be the end of February, the middle of February. I can look that out and maybe start working on that just once a week, just getting one bundle on. And then it's just borders, and that's what these colours are for. These are for the borders. No, sorry, these aren't. These are actually for attaching. These are for attaching these bits onto the main blanket. And I've still got 3 colours lying for the borders. But if I can get it attached, I could actually pass these on and give them to somebody else that could use them for a project rather than lying about in here. Right, so that is one blanket that I'm going to show you today. Let me just pop this out the way. There we go, just get this one out the way. Sorry, I did say, didn't I, that it was the Lily Pond, it was a crochet along. That was the original colours there, but I did mine in purple and green rather than the blue and green. And I've crossed out, if I've completed a bit, I've just been crossing it out. The Lily Pond blanket. If you look on, it's a style, I think it's on the Stylecraft website. If you want to try and look there, you'll get it on the Stylecraft website. But they may have US terms as well as the UK terms. Right, I'm just going to pop this out of the way, and I've got one last thing to show you. Right, this little basket here. I only started this yesterday. So there we go. And it's just going to be a granny square blanket. That's what I get done in an hour. Let's see what size it is. It's about 5.5-inch square just now, which is not bad going for an hour. And this one I'm using a 3.5mm hook, and I'm using this woolly whirl yarn. Looks like that. So it just keeps changing colour. And I know I shouldn't be starting any more projects when I've got so many WIPs there. But my grandson, my youngest grandson, came in. I know he's a boy, and I'm crocheting him a pink blanket. But he came running in and he saw that in my room. And he said, I love that. Oh my goodness, I love that. So I'm making him a blanket. Just a granny square. And this is going to be, I'm going to try and work through my WIPs this year, my crochet WIPs especially. And I thought if I could sit down for an hour a day and just work this into my routine, it will help me. Once I've established that I can do it for an hour a day, it will help me get into a better routine with all my other WIPs. Well, there we go. That's all my crochet WIPs. Do you know, it's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I've only got 21. I thought I had a lot more than that. And the reason that I did the crochet WIPs first for a WIP parade was because I thought I had maybe 30 odd crochet WIPs. But I've actually only got 21. I've got a few other crochet projects that I would like to start, and I've got all the materials for them, but I haven't started them yet, so they're not technically WIPs. So that was actually quite a nice wee bonus, a nice wee boost for me today to realise I don't have as many as I thought I had. Although there's probably a few of you out there thinking, oh my goodness, she's got so many crochet projects. But I'm going to start crocheting on that blanket that I showed you last, the granny square one. I'm going to start doing that an hour every day. And once I can get that worked into my routine, I think it'll be easier to crochet every day. Just do it for an hour a day. And I think this year I can make a pretty big dent in those WIPs if I just spend 1 hour every day crocheting. I think the problem that I have so much crochet over knitting, I always seem to go to the knitting because I can knit while I watch the TV. I can knit while I do other things, whether it be on Zoom meetings or even in social situations. You can knit because I don't always have to look at my knitting. You can knit and you can still have a conversation with somebody and make eye contact, whereas when I crochet, I have to watch what I'm doing. I have to always be watching my crochet. So I can't watch the TV or can't do it if anybody else is about. So you have to focus on it. So an hour a day, and I think it's totally doable to make a just dent in some of these WIPs and get some of them finished, especially all those Toft ones. Right, that is it for today. The next time you see me, it'll probably just be a regular episode, and I'll show you what I've been working on recently. And after that, I might do some more WIP parades for you, because I've got knitting and I've got my patchwork and quilting. I've also got some other sewing projects, and I've also got blankets that I could show you. I mentioned that earlier, didn't I? So we've got quite a few other WIPs, and I think sometimes it's just nice to get everything all in the one place and see how much you've got. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of these wee projects out of the baskets and take out any crochet hooks that's in there, put in a wee post-it note so I know what crochet hook I was using, what brand, the size, and then I can get all my knitting accessories, my crochet accessories, my stitch markers, maybe even scissors, because I know some of them have got lip salves and scissors and things like that, and I can get all that back. And if I put it all into bags, plastic bags, or as I say, even bags like this, it makes it easier to store, doesn't it? I actually bought a big grey laundry basket, and I thought I could put everything in there and then get it tucked under this table as well. So it gives me a wee bit more space in my room. It just clears out a wee bit, because you can't work on everything all at once. But if you take photographs each of them, or even look back at your WIP video, see what you've got and just start working through them until you're done. Because see that crochet flower I showed you, the peony, I do have, I've got more there. I've got another 3 of those. Although I didn't sign up for the club, I did actually manage to buy them all second hand through selling groups on Facebook. So I've got the 4 flowers for the whole of 2022. So there's the peony, there's a dahlia, there's a delphinium, and there's also an amaryllis. So I need to get them all done, and it would be nice to try and focus on some of these crochet projects and get them done this year, wouldn't it? Well, I'm actually going to finish up now. I think I said that before, didn't I? And I will see you soon. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.